Welcome to MMT Chats. This episode brought to you by ISCAR, with new ideas for machining intelligently. Welcome to the MMT studio. I'm Christina Fugis with MoldMaking Technology, and today I am with the first chair lady of the Canadian Association of Mold Makers, Kim Thiara. Hi, Kim.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Christina, for having me here today.
Thanks for sitting down. So let's talk about CAMM. It has been a while since, I guess, it could be 10 years since I've spoken to CAMM to get the lowdown on everything that's going on. I mean, I go way back to Louis Papp days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and Patricia Papp. Yeah, when they were involved with CAMM.
Okay.
But the thing that's been constant is it's always been a very active membership in this association in terms of promoting mold making, Canadian mold making, getting them out there, going on trade missions, like renting buses or getting sponsorship for buses to take them to trade shows, international shows.
That's what we do best.
Yeah, so give me an update. Like, what's going on?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, where to start, right?
Where to start? Trade shows is what we do best. Promoting our mold makers abroad, overseas, outside of Canada and beyond. And, CAMM was instrumental in setting up Canadian mold shops, or actually paving the pathway for Canadian mold shops to set up in Mexico. So that was a big undertaking that they did. That was Dan from Platinum Mold that sort of took that lead. But COVID kind of put a damper on that for us. We really weren't able to do what we do best, and that's face-to-face with people like you and with customers that our mold makers could potentially be reaching out to. So we're back on board doing that as we are here today at this event. So thank you so much for having me on today.
Yes, and thank you for supporting the show.
Absolutely.
It is very important for that. It's a community, right? So that connection, that impersonal connection is needed.
It's invaluable.
And this is the way to do it.
It's invaluable. And, I think, the last 3 years or so has really proven how the face-to-face connection far outweighs the virtual world, the Teams meetings, the Zoom meetings.
We're all like, we've had it.
Nothing makes a connection like actually being in front of
It's so true.
a prospect.
Let me ask you this. As a mold maker, there are options, right? There are different trade associations, different organizations they can join.
Yes.
So how is CAMM different? What does CAMM do that it's mandatory a mold shop should belong?
I think at the core of it, it's the passion that comes with the people that are on our board. Our board is passionate about our industry, about our mold makers. We are excited about the potential that they offer and the growth that they've done globally because of the way that the board is passionate in the representation of their mold shops, I think sets us apart from other mold makers. And
do you want to talk about, can you talk about the membership and what it's made up of? Like, do you want to talk numbers? You want to talk types of shops that are a part of it?
I'm not going to talk numbers because I'm not a numbers person.
Okay.
But, it's predominantly mold makers, but then we also have service providers as well. Okay. I, for one, my company is Ace-Tronic. I am not a mold maker, but I've been in the industry for 27 plus years now. We've been a member of CAMM for, I'm going to say, close to 20 years.
Okay.
And so our membership is comprised of mold shops as well as service providers, as myself. So I think collectively we all contribute and benefit from healthy mold shops.
Yes.
So why not be part of that association, right? So our membership is nice and diverse.
What is the number one benefit when a member comes in?
A number one benefit, I think, is the fact that we are working on their behalf in broadcasting what they do to the world.
Okay.
That's my personal opinion. Other board members, depending on who you speak to,
will say something
may
else,
think
right?
otherwise. I mean, we do a lot of advocacy work.
Yep.
Advocacy.
That's what stands out to me.
Yeah.
How active the group has been.
Very active.
Being that big voice. And that's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, and it wouldn't be possible without the passion that comes from the board. I mean, I said that at the beginning. I feel that our board is just, they're very well in tune with what's happening with our industry and what needs to happen and what do we need to fight for on behalf of our members.
So as the chair, how long have you been chair right now?
I think we're going on to a year.
Okay. So what you coming in, do you set like a tone? Do you set like what's your goal? What do you want to achieve as chair with the organization?
So with CAMM being situated in Windsor, Windsor is a very tight-knit community. And the perception that Canada has is that CAMM is a Windsor-based association. I'm not from Windsor.
Aha.
My daughter
Here we
lives in
go.
Windsor.
Okay.
I love Windsor to death. If I could live there, I would, but my family's all outside of Windsor right now, so it's difficult, other than my daughter. But lost my train of thought.
And I forgot.
Okay, so no, I remember now. So,
Okay.
so I feel, and I think the board also recognizes this, that we really need to sort of broaden our reach
Okay.
beyond Windsor. So I'm all about CAMM truly being the Canadian Association of Mold Makers, right? We've got such a diverse gamut of mold makers that make up our portfolio, and I feel like we're missing the boat if we don't do that.
So
as an
CAMM doesn't
association.
have chapters.
No, we do not.
Okay, so maybe
No.
that's something that you're going to moving toward.
Perhaps,
Yeah.
we have had some talk about that. So perhaps we need one in outside of Windsor, and
Yeah.
we need one in Montreal.
Exactly.
But the I think the majority of our mold makers are situated between Ontario and Quebec.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's where the bulk of us are.
What are some events coming up that we can help promote?
Well,
I know there's a golf outing,
well, yeah, everybody knows our golf outing.
which I've never been to, believe it or not.
And we host hole number one, Ace-tronic.
Okay.
It's the Tiki Hut.
Oh, that
I'm
sounds
a little
fun.
biased, but it's the best one out there. So if you're coming for any reason, come for that.
Yeah, you're right.
We give out free beer. We did
all you gotta
margaritas one
say.
year. That's all
That's all you got to say.
So that's coming up in June. It's always the first Sunday in
June, yeah.
That's right. And we're working on an event in Toronto.
Oh, okay.
And this is all part of, venturing outside
Okay.
of Windsor and encompassing
What type of
everybody.
event?
It's going to be geared towards, and I'm sure, whoever's listening today knows that I think at the core, the biggest issue facing manufacturers and mold makers is the tremendous shortage of skilled trades, labor.
Yep.
I go out to my customers and I see older folks.
Seasoned. I call them
Seasoned,
Kim.
seasoned, experienced,
Exactly.
very knowledgeable guys and women
Yep.
that aren't being allowed to leave or
Yes.
retire, because if they leave, there's no one coming in.
Yep.
So the main objective of our event, I know the main objective of our event is going to be targeting that. So it's going to be at an educational facility in Toronto. That was built by the donations of a very large injection molder in Toronto.
Oh, nice.
$44 million. So
Oh, wow.
it's quite an impressive facility.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful.
So,
give
so
us
we're
the
looking
scoop
at
on
arranging that
yeah.
in September. Yeah.
Okay, that'll be good.
Excited, yes.
That is the trend, or I guess the biggest pain point is the labor force, and we need more people. And that's such a bigger issue sometimes when you talk about it. You can go beyond a rabbit hole with how we can solve it, but it's work locally. You have to focus small, right, to make any kind of steps forward.
Baby
with that.
steps,
You can't think
right?
too big about it.
But I've been in the industry for 20 years now, 20 plus years, and this has been an issue since I started. I remember folks talking about it, and I can't believe 2 decades later we're still talking about it. Like, it's sad.
It is sad. The highlight is, at least we have advances in technology that are able to help the manufacturers cope with that problem. You have automation.
Yes.
The machining technology advances, the software. Because if we didn't have that, Kim, then what will we do?
Oh, well, then, yeah.
You would lose manufacturing as a whole.
Absolutely.
But kudos to CAMM to be focusing an event on that, because it's needed. All right. Well, last but not least, mold making is celebrating 25 years. MoldMaking Technology.
Yes.
And this
congratulations.
is thank you. This is our top 10 T-shirt. The top favorites over the 25 years. But what I want to leave you with is, or ask you is, over 25 years. What do you think has been the biggest, well, we'll stick with CAMM. What has been the biggest change that you've seen in the association over 25 years? Or the biggest impact it has made?
The biggest impact, geez. Honestly, I'm going to go back to our outreach.
Okay.
Our outreach that we do. That, I think, and the mold shops will speak to that.
Okay.
Because Mexico is our should go up on the wall for what's happened down there.
I remember when you started doing that.
Yeah,
I was impressed, and it was way more Canadian than American mold builders making that journey or taking that risk.
It was a risk. It was a risk.
Yep.
And I've actually had, yesterday, I had a couple of folks come up to me and say that we were in Mexico and they couldn't believe the number of Canadian shops that were down there.
Yeah.
So that speaks to CAMM's
That does.
risk.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay,
back in the day. Yes.
What excites you the most about the next 25 years of mold making?
Oh boy, next 25 years. It's just, where is EV going to take us? You know, with the molding. We're still going to need mold makers because there's still going to be some sort of vehicle that's transporting us, and just seeing how that's going to take off for our industry and mold making.
And the opportunities, right?
And the opportunities it's going to unshield.
Excellent. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kim. Thanks for sitting down.
Thank you very much.
All right. And for everything mold making, visit moldmakingtechnology.com.